Welcome back to Perkins Pipes. You can see there's a little bit of snow on the ground behind me here in central Indiana, but it is a nice enough day, nice enough sun. You can see the sun, and the temps are decently high. They're in the mid-40s, so we thought we could record a video about a new pipe. I've actually had this one for, at the time of the recording of this video, maybe a month or so, about a month and a half maybe. But I hadn't had a chance to make the video about it, so I'm super excited to introduce you to this pipe. I'll show you what it is so we can do our initial, what we always do in the video. But yeah, we'll zoom in on this guy in a little bit and talk all about him. So let's get this guy lit. Let's get to talking. This is the story of Around the Pipe in 80 Days. Now, that may seem like a play on words, and it is. The famous novel Around the World in 80 Days. So, I want to talk to you about who this little guy is, why I got him, how I got him, and what I think of him. So this is a number 18 Kaywoodie standard bulldog. So we'll kind of zoom in on this guy. I hope that some of the light can pick up some of the grain. I think the grain is particularly nice. Really quite pretty there. Especially this side. I don't know if hopefully some of the sunlight can really pick that up for you. Beautiful little curve to the stem, and this gorgeous, Kaywoodie calls this a bulldog. And I know there are back and forth about bulldogs versus Rhodesians and blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to get into all that on this particular episode, but Kaywoodie, this is a bulldog. So, if you've been watching this channel for any length of time, you know that my first pipe was my dad's Kaywoodie, number 69 large hot. And I can see right now that this guy is in need of some cleaning at the moment. But I absolutely love this guy. I've had him in numerous videos. Really nice, large, hot, as the name implies. Really good smoke. Feels great in the hand. And I love it. My second pipe was another one that I found at my dad's. A number 5 Kaywoodie Campus. Again, it says Kaywoodie Standard Imported Briar. Stamped on the side of the shank there. And you can see this little fellow. So, enjoy this guy. Now, that alone was enough to make me interested in Kaywoodies. Hadn't really thought about collecting Kaywoodies, but I've said this so many times, I really don't know whether I remember my dad smoking a pipe or not. Now, I knew he had at least this one. And I think I may remember this one from when I was growing up. I know he had a green apple. Don't have that anymore. But at any rate, because the Kaywoodies were my dad's, and decades before I was ever into pipes, I'd heard the name Kaywoodie. He was the only pipe maker that I knew. So that in and of itself has kind of made a special connection for me with Kaywoodie pipes. Then, my friend Julie had given me 6 estate pipes from a project she'd been working on for a friend. Won't get into all that right now. But in that set of estate pipes was this Kaywoodie number 9. And let's see here. This is white briar. And we think it would date this to maybe around somewhere between the 30s and 50s, a small pear. You can see this fellow here. And I like him. He's a nice small little pipe. I like him. So that made my 3rd Kaywoodie. So I don't know if it's December. I really don't know. I sort of say December of 2024. I think it may have been actually January of 2025. I was on Facebook, saw in all the Facebook groups, pipe groups, and a fellow had this gorgeous. I mean, and again, I don't know if the light's going to really pick this up or not, but just really nicely polished, cleaned, beautiful, ready to go estate Kaywoodie bulldog. Love the bulldog shape. Got a couple other bulldogs. Since it was a Kaywoodie, and since it was this, just to me, stunningly gorgeous, I just love the lines, the slight, again, bend to the stem here. I just loved it. And this fellow had posted on one of the groups and said he was had cleaned it up, it was all good to go, getting ready to post it on eBay. And it just turned out to be, I was at the pipe place, at the pipe time, so to speak, and I hopped on and I emailed him, or I messaged him on Facebook, and I said, hey, do you know what you're going to list it for? And would you be open to a purchase right here and right now? He messaged me back right away. We must have been on at the same time. And he said, absolutely. He says, we can do this right now. Here's the price. The price was very reasonable. Very reasonable. I said, yeah, let's do it, man. Let's do it. So, PayPal'd him the payment and eagerly awaited my pipe. Now here's where the around the pipe in 80 days part comes in. So the fellow who is selling it lives in New York. Sent me the tracking number, sent me the label, all that jazz. So I'll be able to track it like, ooh, like a kid getting ready for Christmas or birthday. Ooh, when's my pipe going to arrive? Saw that it had left New York. Saw that it had arrived in Indianapolis. And then it seemed to be stuck in Indianapolis for a couple of days. And we'd had some bad weather and some snow. I'm like, okay, well, maybe that's what's going on. And then I noticed it was on the move again. And this time, not to my home. It was headed back to Teterboro, New Jersey. I'm thinking, what in the world? That has got to be the most bizarre trip to go from New York to Indiana, back to New Jersey to Indiana. So just kind of had to keep waiting it out. Got a little bit nervous, I got to tell you. Got a little bit nervous about it, and I went to our local postal service. And I said, hey, can you give me any information about this? Well, because I had the label, they were able to track it, and they said, yeah, this is clearly just a mistake. This must have gotten put in the wrong bin, and should be here in a couple of days. Eventually, it arrived. Super excited. Smoked it right away, and have enjoyed it several times since then. So this little pipe, I don't know where he started off life, but in terms of coming into my possession, started off in New York, came to Indianapolis, went back to New Jersey, then back to Indianapolis, and then to my home here just north of Indianapolis. So this guy really made the rounds. Now, I've really, really enjoyed this quite a bit. In general, I do like a larger bowl, and part of it I just like to be able to sit down and smoke for as long as I want. And if I decide I don't want to smoke it all, that's fine. And obviously you can always refill the pipe. I get that, right? But I kind of like to have a pipe filled to begin with for a longer smoking session. That's just me. So this guy's a little bit smaller than my really probably preferred. Small like this medium pear is quite small. Still a good smoker. Same thing for the campus. Also small. This guy I've gotten over an hour out of, the large pot. Really, really, really dig that. And again, I just love how he feels in the hand. What I like about this one is the elegance. I don't know if you can make that up. I don't know if you can pick up the elegance of this pipe. But for me, just again, you take a look at the lines of it, the curve, beautifully polished grain of the bowl and the shank. Just, I don't know, man. Just a beautiful, beautiful look. And for me, as I mentioned before, when it comes to really 3 things for sure, maybe 4. If I can get this to work for cars, that's great. Can't always make it work for cars. But certainly when it comes to pipes, fountain pens, and firearms, I want something that is functional, but gorgeous as well. I want it to have a really, really good look to it. I appreciate the aesthetic of that kind of a thing. So, smokes well. I'm enjoying some Lane RLP6 in it right now. And again, I think if I take my time, I'm just enjoying a pipe, not reading or doing anything else. Easy half hour, maybe up to close to 45 minutes maybe with him, just depending. So, got several questions for you. First of all, what do you think of my new pipe? What do you think about this little guy? You like this guy? You like the lines of him as much as I do? Tell me what you think. What do you think about bulldogs and Rhodesians in general? Are you a fan of that shape? Do you have any of that shape? Talk to us about Kaywoodies. We've certainly talked about Kaywoodies many times on this channel. If you're a Kaywoodie person, love to hear your Kaywoodie stories. And then, have you ever had any interesting stories in ordering a pipe, and specifically a pipe? We won't go with other packages and things that you may have received, but if you've ordered a pipe, any interesting stories about how it got to you, as mine went from New York to Indiana, back to New Jersey, and back to Indiana again. So, anyhow, just wanted to introduce this one to you. You'll certainly be seeing him in many videos to come. As Malcolm Guite likes to say, I do these little things in order at last to do nothing. Or as I like to say in Latin, Parva ago ut tandem, nihil agam. Have a wonderful day.